And yeah, and our mission here is the creation of a democratic, decentralized, beneficial AGI. And our company values here, we value openness, creativity, collaboration, and kindness. And these values reflect how we operate and intend to achieve our mission. So if you are the type that is looking for an environment that has a bunch of kind people who are also very brilliant, open to new ideas and innovation, ready to collaborate with you for your awesome ideas, leveraging on our creativity, then Deep Funding is the place for you. No matter the field that you are in, actually, you don't necessarily have to be so techy, also Web3-ish, also AI-ish. Here at Deep Funding, openness, creativity, collaboration, and kindness matters a lot. And it guides how we converse with each other, how we support each other, how we support proposals, what we consider great proposals, what we vote for, what we there's something we say, we put our money where our faith is here. So yeah, it basically guides where we put our money, and our faith in us. So yeah, Deep Funding is a community run program, and we propose projects. So if you want to be a part of Deep Funding, we are primarily a community-run program. Everybody's important here. Everybody's opinions matter. Everybody's ideas matter. Everybody's everything matters here. So we are really run as a community, as one voice. And if you've got great projects that you think the world needs, that you think would be beneficial to Deep Funding and SingularityNET, you could come and propose those projects, write a proposal, submit a proposal, whatever it is. We are so into ideas. We love ideas. We love life-changing ideas. We love beneficial ideas to Deep Funding and SingularityNET. And if it's great, trust us to support you. So yeah, come propose that weird dream that everybody's calling you a nerd for, or your friends don't quite understand yet, or you don't have the money for it yet, but it's going to change the world. Please come and propose. We want as many ideas as possible. We want to push forward as many ideas as possible. And we literally want to change the world, literally. And to achieve that, of course, because we're a community-run program, when we get those projects, those proposals, the community votes for those proposals. So you could come in, maybe you don't have ideas, but your votes could be the difference between a win and a loss for someone's $1 million life-changing, generational affecting projects. Then you could come in as a voter to vote, right? You could be a part of the reviewers that review these proposals. You could just come in into meetings like this, and you could just come in and share, discuss, learn from each other really, and collaborate. Or you could be a part of the circles. So think of our circles here like departments in a university or at work, right? So we have a few circles where you could volunteer to be a part of. For instance, the circle responsible for hosting town halls and all hand meetings, that the event circle, the circle that I'm a part of, and the best circle in Deep Funding. That's just like disclaimer. We are the best circle in Deep Funding. And there's the review circle, the analytics circle, operations circle, onboarding circle. There are a few circles that you could find on our website. And so, you can just like go through the pages, whatever it is that you think you'd be best at, where your strengths lie, really, where you think you could make better change. You could just, volunteer, and we are open to as many as possible. We really believe in community, and we know that we cannot change the world on our own, and you could just be the missing piece. So yeah, Deep Funding needs you. And welcome to your town hall today. This town hall, like every town hall, is specially made for you. This is where the Deep Funding community gathers to discuss everything related to Deep Funding. Proposals, updates, changes, everything, right? So we are not a company that just sends a memo, guys, we are changing this. We have town halls where we come, we share, oh, this is what we are thinking, this is what this circle was thinking, this is what that circle is thinking, and everybody just, brings their ideas, and we make decisions as one community. Remember that we are a community-run program, and we value openness, creativity, collaboration, and kindness. So town halls like this are the perfect place to learn, to ask questions about, and start your Deep Funding journey. So if you've been hearing about Deep Funding for a while, you don't know how to get started, then you are just in the right place. If you know a friend or two who is interested, or who you think is going to be a very essential part of deep funding, you could also just share the link to the town hall with them, and they could join and get a lay of the land and a feel of what we do here and be a part of it. So if you want to connect with us, you could join circles, like I've said, book presentation slots, calendar with all deep funding events. There's a calendar on our website, so you could just, save to your calendar all of our events, and so you're notified in time that social event is coming up and you could be a part of it. And then you could keep track of circle progress and work. We do have a website, right? And you could scan that QR code and direct you straight to the website, where you could see what we are doing in text or video, or basically in different formats such as this, and you learn more about what we are achieving here day by day. So I said all of that to say this. We want to hear from you. So would like to get presentations of community initiatives rather, and awarded projects. You could host a breakout room about a specific topic, right? So there are so many topics, right? As regarding AI, blockchain innovation, that quite a number of topics. And so if you're interested in if you've built expertise in one topic and you like to share with other people, one way you could do that at the town hall is host a breakout room about that specific topic. And everyone here is open to learning. So yeah, we would be right there, drawing from your well, so to speak. And here I could, present initiatives and, learn about awarded projects here as well. So I am going to stop here. Thank you for listening so far, for those of you who have been, and we're going to get right into the agenda. AI enhanced neurotech for mental well-being. And for that, Rafael, Rakesh. Yes, for that, we'll be having Rakesh for AI enhanced neurotech for mental well-being. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Right. So let me just share my screen.
Make Rakesh co-host Mariam, please, so we can share the screen.
Yeah, I've just sent a request. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Over to you, Rakesh.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Rakesh Chakati. So I'm the project owner of the project what we got the funded in DF4. So our project is about AI enhanced neurotech mental well-being. So we basically leverage using the variables, EEG variables, to help users to understand much more about themselves. So let me just give a small introduction. Let me just stop sharing the screen. Yeah. So I'll give a demo on why I'm using this technology and why we're using this, and how the users will interact with the AI service what we launched in the marketplace right now. So yeah. So today, every day, millions of people use smartwatches. So, but they only scratch the surface of well-being. So today's smartwatches measure what's easy. That's heart rate, movement, and skin temperature. But those are indirect signals. It doesn't give a complete picture about our overall well-being. And if you look at your smartwatch, it may sometimes tell you stress. But again, it is just detecting the elevated heart rate. So this could come from exercise, it could come from caffeine, or it could be actual anxiety. So how do we understand much more into the person? So to understand the mental and cognitive states, we have to measure the brain itself. So covering the mental and productivity, also we could even measure how the person is performing. So what is this technology? So there's a technique called EEG, which measures the electrical activity of the brain from the scalp. So here I'm using a device which is collecting my brain waves. So that is electrical activity from my scalp. So these are non-invasive. So I'm sure everyone must have heard about Elon Musk, what they're doing, Neuralink. So it is supposed to be the chips are inside the brain. So that's invasive. But we work on what's non-invasive. So let me just show you another device. So this is another device which is called Muse. So anyone can pick up this online. So let me get back to the point. So right now, if you've heard about the news, Apple, LG, Oppos are right now they're trying to integrate the brain waves with the technology. So they're trying to integrate earbuds. So the future is how do we get the overall picture of the person's health by integrating heart activity, also brain activity. So let me just give you a demo of how I collect the data and interact with the service. So we have a data recorder, which will connect in the real time to the device. Yeah, right now, how we have arranged the AI service is that it takes in two sessions. So if I want to understand how a meditation is affecting, I'll take a baseline sessions. So right now I'm just understanding my baseline. So I'll just collect for 3 minutes to understand how I'm faring at that moment. Then after that, I'll take another sessions. So it could be like I'm meditating right now, or I'll take a break and walk for some time. So then I come and measure and take a second sessions. So then we try to analyze how my relaxations increased over the sessions. So let me just complete this session. So I completed 2 sessions here. I just fast forwarded. So when we invoke the service, we can see how the metrics change. So right now it is taking the EEG signals. It is cleaning a lot. EEG signals contains a lot of noise. The AI service will clean the noise. Then it prepares the classifier to classify between different metrics. So right now we're just classifying relaxation and focus. But again, for people to understand, they're just giving relaxations. So people can understand if they do meditation, whether it's working for them or not. So then it measures how the person changed over that session. So this is the demo what we integrated SDK. So let me just show you the platform. So this is a platform. So where users can come in. So let me just try to run the service again. So again, we are not any device agnostic. So again, we are supporting multiple devices. So right now we are supporting 3 devices. So that is Muse, BrainBeat, and OpenBCI. So the goal is to let users be, what can they do with data? Because again, if you are buying any company device, you are stuck with that ecosystems. Again, you don't have any way to customize it. So we are letting users customize or understand much more about themselves. So right now we just need the raw data. Yeah. The username, and we support 2 devices right now. So user can select what device they are using and what we are doing. So I did a meditation session. So I'll just load my data, what I had recorded. So this is a baseline sessions, the first sessions. Then I see when I want to compare with the second sessions. So I'll go with the meditations. I'll just have to click analyze. Sometimes it take a bit of time. So let me just try again. So what we can say here is raw signals. So it doesn't really make much sense. So what do? We do a lot of processing. It could be frequency domain and these different analysis. So then we bring in our AI. So what can users make use of it? So right now, if they want to understand, like if some app is working, so some app can promise that it is helping them induce relaxations, so they can play and understand. So our goal is not just to provide relaxations. So we'll start training our data on different metrics. So slowly people can have different emotions or cognitive metrics. It could be relaxation, it could be focus, it could be stress. So then people could get a much more understanding about how they fared with any session. So yeah, so let me just open the proposals. So the applications of the proposal, what we told at the time was, so there's a lot of place where we can apply this technology. So it could be in healthcare to help monitor or give much more information about patient to the doctor in real time. Also workplace wellness, in education, in sports and games in reality. And right now we have proposed two proposals in BGI, or specifically on workplace wellness. So we are doing on stress management and performance enhancement. So right now, what I have shown right now is a classifier trend on which works on general populations. But again, we have to work to understand personalizations. So how do we make the model understand this person's insights, or how do we train the model to make much more accurate prediction for that users? So that's the next step. So that's the idea. So we keep on building. So we are very thankful for getting our project funded by DF4. So yeah, this was our chance to prove that we could do something once we get funded. So yeah, thank you for this. So
Okay, thank you so much, Rakesh. I think this is a very brilliant idea. So do we have questions or insights? Okay, hi, Tommy. You could go ahead.
Thank you. Rakesh, beautiful presentation, fantastic concept. I didn't catch all of it because of my, I only speak one language and sometimes my old ears don't get accents, but awesome. Question. I happen to know somebody that's working with athletes, specifically weightlifters in Ghana. Can this prototype of yours be used for measuring brain waves or whatever metrics and enhance training capabilities, whether it's for weightlifters or any other athletic endeavor? And if so, I'd like to put you in touch with him.
right. So let me just give a small introduction. So right now, there's a technology called EECG, so HRV. So this is being used in improving the athlete. So what do? They try to measure the heart activity and measure the stress and readiness level. So this is a standard right now, but again, this is being used more than like 30 years. But again, right now, there are few companies who are integrating BCI. So again, this is not entirely proven technology, but again, we can start supplementing with already proven. So again, these signals, these are nothing but we can have a snapshot of the person before and after. So we can progressively measure how the person is improving. So we could add another layer. So that's ECG and EEG. So I think it's more about combining what data we have. Because right now, these devices were very bulky. So right now, we could even have this in just earphones and headphones. Due to the advancement of electronics, we are able to bring in much more better right now. So it'll be. So we are also working on one motorsport well-being. So again, it's about how we get them ready for the racing track. So I think we have a lot of things which we could talk. So yeah.
Well, the reason I asked specifically is because your title, I think, was prediction. And one of the oldest sayings that I'm aware of in athletics is 90% is mental preparation. You know,
Right.
certainly you train physically, but it's the mental just before you compete. Can your model help with that prediction, or whether it's training, the meditative state, being in the moment, or as Gandhi said many years ago, is the best form of meditation is sleep. Can it help with sleep and rejuvenating the athlete's mind or mindset?
So I'll put you in an easy way to understand. So again, we could understand like athlete can perform differently. It could be when they're practicing, it could be different. When they're performing, it could be different. So again, these tools will help us understand why the person is acting differently. It could be stress, it could be maybe they're not slept right. So again, we try to understand what's affecting that person's cognitive state. So again, right, it could come from sleep, it could come from just anxiety, it could come from diet. So there's a lot of things. So these tools could help us pinpoint where it could affect that mental state. So again, it's about improving the confidence and reducing whatever doubt they have in mind and getting in the flow. Because again, that's what mental preparation is about, right? So again, the best guy, the mental preparation wins. So it's all about the mind here right now.
Okay, if you could just in the chat, if you could put your contact info.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for your presentation, Rakesh.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Rakesh, there's a question in the chat from Igor. I hope I pronounced that right. So sorry. I'm also a speaker of one language, English, so I don't really know how to pronounce certain names yet. But the person is asking, could you please explain the algorithms you use to calculate relaxation levels? Oh, all right. Thank you then. From the signals. Do these signals have limitations? Can workout or caffeine still affect them? So I'll take the question again. Could you please explain the algorithms you use to calculate relaxation levels from the signals? And do these signals have limitations? Can workout or caffeine still affect them?
Yeah, just give me 1 minute. I'll answer. Let me just share my screen. So again, EEG is nothing but an electrical signal. So we don't really much understand much in time domain. So we try to convert it to frequency domain. So again, there are different bands which are like standard in the community. So these bands are gamma, beta, alpha, and theta. So certain activities will induce certain oscillations in the brain. So if I'm resting right now, I may have higher alpha. If I'm focusing right now, I may have higher beta. So what we have done right now is a simple machine learning, which right now we collect data. So we stimulate a person or we tell to do the activity. So again, it could be they're relaxing right now. So we measure their signals. So then we bring in machine learning to understand what are the different metrics. So right now I'm trained on the frequency band. So we could train on a lot of different metrics. It's about right now I'm trying to understand how I was at that state of mind. So I'm working today right now. If I train my classifier during the mornings, so I try to compare myself with how my alpha and beta or these bands were at that time point of time. So it's pretty much just trying to get as close to what we had. So it's not much too much, nothing complex as of now. So yeah. So that's the answer.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much, Rakesh. I hope that's cleared the question. So are there any more questions for Rakesh and his brilliant idea before we go on to the next person?
I'll just say thank you, Rakesh, for your will to present this to everyone. For reaching out
Thank
and
you.
for wanting to be transparent with the community. I think that's super important. And I also
Right.
want for the rest of the community to take a look at your example and do the same, because it's awesome to see what you guys are building. It's awesome to see the things that are funded come to life, right? So thank you for that.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, on my side, now a personal note, Rakesh. I was talking last week about projects and etc. And I said, yeah, if he manages to onboard this, it will probably become my favorite project. Probably. I love a lot of projects there, but it's indeed something very interesting that you proposed and you are bringing here. And I remember we had also some changes, right, in at the beginning in milestone that actually improve it or
Right.
it brought you more effort even than the original ones. And yeah, thank you for going through and believing the program to bring this amazing service to our platform here. Indeed, it's
Thank you.
very
So it will just keep on improving. So it's just a basic question. So it'll keep on improving. So it's about getting the community, because again, the sector right now, Neurotech is much broken. So everyone using different devices. So how do you bring them to a platform and bring them much more meaningful things? So yeah, thank you for this too.
yeah. Looking very
Okay,
close the developments here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Rakesh. Personally, I'm excited to see how this tech would, come into play, like you've said, with healthcare, especially with mental health care. And I want to see how interesting, this would make things, and if it's going to also help with monitoring maybe moods for like ADHD patients or people with clinical depression. They'd probably be able to track their moods and know better when they should get work done based on what the tech tells them. But also worry, does your tech, does it factor in for some people, knowing that they have to relax is a stress factor. So if someone is trying to relax but is stressed about relaxing, the tech would flag it as stress, right? Or would it flag it as relaxation? Or I'd like to know that.
So again, when we bring in a reinforcement model, so it clearly understand what your stress level is, because my stress level can be different, your may be different. So it really understands you, and it is like you just wear the device morning, it'll take your baseline session and tell you, are you ready or not? If you're not ready, you just have to take whatever it tells you. It could be meditation, it could be anything. So again, it could actively measure, yeah.
Okay, all right then, brilliant. I really am interested in seeing how this plays out, and I know that it's going to potentially change lives and work and productivity, rest, and mental health care as we know it. So thank you, Rakesh, and thank you to everyone who has asked him questions and helping him shed more light on certain areas. Thank you so much, Rakesh. All right, so moving on to the next agenda on our list. Yes, please, if you I believe if you want to vote for correct me if I'm wrong, Rafael, but if you want to vote for Rakesh's project, I think is voting still. Oh, I think voting would discuss voting later. But yeah, if you're interested in Rakesh's project, you can look that up on our Deep Funding RFP proposals and learn more about it and in print. But to move on, would be going into AI for Peace ideation and hackathon. And for that, we have Ubio. Ubio, are you here? Or anyone else from the team to share updates with us?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm with my team. Andrea, would you want to share that or take that?
Yeah,
okay, because I need to know who I'm making co-host.
Yeah, I can share the presentation.
All right, sure. So Andrea will handle the presentation. I'll be at the backup to answer or respond. And we are wearing the same shirt. It's actually planned.
Oh, brilliant.
This is AI for Peace color.
Okay. I don't know, Ubio, do you want to give the introduction? And then I continue? Okay, perfect.
All right, yeah. Thank you, everyone. So AI for Peace Dwellathon. Maybe I would want to give the context to why we call it a dwellathon. We are trying to experiment on a concept of combining ideas with a hackathon, right? So we reverse engineered the process. The initial process is that we actually go out stating that we know what we want. But here we are about to do a hackathon without knowing what we want, right? So this is also the first stage is the ideation challenge, where we open it up for the community to put in ideas. And then based on those ideas, we are now going to speak about 4 to 5 and create a track that people are going to be building, creating a hackathon on, right? So that's why I said we are reverse engineering it. We didn't start by saying we know what the challenges are. We know what AI for Peace is. We know why the world is in turmoil. We just created a context and a concept, and then we try to see what the community will actually bring out. So yeah, this is just the basis behind the whole Dualathon concept. And I hand over to Andrea to take us through.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Bio. Gonna make this smaller. Okay, now. So I think Ubio already explained the overall context, but what you need to know is that right now Deep Funding is launching its first ever RFP Ideation Challenge. And this time the theme is gonna be AI for Peace. So right now we are looking for ideas that would help us bring peace to the world. And as he said before, we are trying to link that to the hackathon. So some of the best ideas from the RFP Ideation Challenge will be turned into actual useful AI projects. And we want them to be integrated on the SingularityNET's marketplace. We have here the important dates. So the Ideation Challenge started on the 18th of March, and the last day to submit your ideas is going to be the 15th of April. And then the hackathon registration is now open, so anyone who would like to join can apply. It's gonna be closed the 21st of April. And the hackathon is going to take place the 21st of April until the 28th of April. This is the overview. So this challenge is inviting visionaries, developers, and AI enthusiasts worldwide to think beyond conventional solutions and propose ideas for AI-driven innovations that contribute to a more peaceful world. As an ideation challenge, participants are not required to develop AI solutions, but are encouraged to submit groundbreaking ideas that can be further developed into real-world applications. So here I have the steps to apply to the ideation challenge. So anyone who has any idea or interesting idea, good idea to contribute to world peace, this is the time for you to register, to submit your ideas. And the first step is to go to the deepfunding.ai, the website. You have to create a profile. Then you can navigate to the RFP ideation section. If you want, I can share the links and also this presentation for anyone who wants to know what the links are. Then go to challenge section and submit your idea. If your idea has to do with this challenge, then you might choose AI for Peace challenge. And the most important thing is you have to join the Mattermost channel. This is a public channel that we created just for the AI for Peace challenge, and it's a public Mattermost. Well, the ideation challenge, selection and prizes. So a panel of experts are going to review the submissions, and they are going to be based on impact, feasibility, and alignment with the challenge goals. In this case, each winner of the ideation challenge will receive $500 in AGIX, our token. Ideas selected that will become RFPs will receive additional $1,000 in AGIX. And even if those ideas are not selected as winner, they can still be developed into an RFP. And then this takes us to the next step. So the first part of the Dualathon is the ideation challenge, which I already explained. And then the next part will be the AI for Peace online hackathon that is going to start the 21st of April, as I mentioned before. And the hackathon, the goal is to maximize impact. We are organizing the AI for Peace online hackathon, where winning ideas from the RFP Ideation Challenge may serve as tracks for hackathon participants. And the steps to join the hackathon would be first to register in the form. You can find the form on the website. If you go to proposals, RFP proposals, you can find there a link to the registration form. Then join the Mattermost channel for the hackathon updates, and that's the Mattermost AI for Peace hackathon. That's another channel that we created specifically for the hackathon. And another step or must do is to attend the hackathon kickoff meetings. But the dates are to be determined. So we will go back to you guys with that in the hackathon channel. And it's important that your ideas, that you bring your ideas, because they can make a big change, a big difference. And we are hoping that you join us in this project, and whoever has a really nice and interesting idea can join this, either the challenge or the hackathon. That's all for now. So if Ubio wants to share anything else, or if anyone has any questions, let us know.
Yeah, so yeah, just to contribute to the conversation, we are actually, one of the reasons why we're on this town hall is because we need you to help us spread this information. It's one of the easiest onboarding RAM to Deep Funding platform. Just tell people, I think everyone has ideas. I think those probably those ideas we just talk about in our bedrooms. Oh, we can do this. You know, everybody knows what to do until most time when we get onto the floor or when we get into action. So this is it. Like we are crowdsourcing ideas, and we don't want this to be just a developer outreach stuff. So please, yeah, just any ideas that people can do that can bring peace, how we can integrate AI to bring peace to the world. There's so much tumult, there's so much fracas, so much issues in our world today. And like if you read the context of the hackathon, you would see it's actually not just fighting. We sometimes need peace with ourselves, right? The emotional peace. Sometimes we need peace with our ecosystem. Whatever context, however you can conceptualize peace, we just want to see ideas around peace. So I would plead, you have your own communities, you have your people you influence, you have this thing, just tell them, oh, we are doing this ideation. Can you just put it ideas, and let's see the amazing ideas that can come out of the world. We really are expecting, like we said, we really don't know what will come out of this, but we are just experimenting all through.
Yeah, and we are really, really excited for the next hackathon and this challenge, which is the first one. So anyone can join, and please let us know what are your thoughts.
And yeah, in case you're having challenges with this thing, please reach out on the public Mattermost on Telegram. I think we have the general Telegram channel. Please try to do that as well, so that we can get those challenges, maybe with registration, whatever challenge you're facing, we would be very willing to solve it for you. All right, okay. So maybe we have questions or something, we'll be willing to take it now.
All right, thank you, Bio, and thank you, Andrea, for that very interesting presentation. Okay, so do we have any questions for them as regarding their proposal and what they are doing, or any insights we'd like to share with them as well?
Can I ask a question just out of curiosity? So there have been already some proposals coming in. Have you taken a look? What did you feel about these proposals? Just curious to know your thoughts. Do you think it could be good for an hackathon topic?
Yeah. So I was telling, very good question, Rafael. I was telling Yan the other day, I said, one of the things that we never saw, we never thought of it, was the fact that we may have to curate some of these amazing ideas and make them suitable for a hackathon, right? So we did not state that clause, but that's what I'm realizing, because people give beautiful ideas, but the context is not within the framework of the fact that, oh, we are going to be converting this into a hackathon. I think one of the things Jan said is, if any of those wonderful ideas are being chosen, what we may have to do is to send a message to them that, oh, this idea is going to be used, but not exactly the way it was presented, because we have to curate it for the essence that we actually want it to be used. So there are amazing ideas coming in. We've already started seeing good ideas, but like we said, we are actually just looking up, we are expecting more. So we've not started saying this is the one that will definitely go in or not, but we are seeing good and amazing ideas. The only thing is that what we learned from the process was that we should have put a clause there that those ideas may not be directly used the way it was framed, but at least by that framing of that ideation, it has given us a context of what people, we should be looking out for. Second was a problem we found that some people, we saw an amazing ideation project, and I think the person submitted it as an open challenge. So very good ideas as well, but so I don't know how we are going to solve that, but maybe there's a way we can move it. Or maybe Rafael, Presa can help us with that. Maybe there's a way we can move, and it was clearly written, it's an AI for peace talk, but submitted as an open challenge. So
all right, awesome. Thank you, Ubio. And for sure, once you get closer to the deadline, as it usually happens, you have a bunch of proposals coming in and you just get spammed with it. So it's already good that you're getting some traction when it's just the beginning. So congratulations. And
yeah,
hopefully we can all spread it even further, right? I'll also try to put some idea there. Let's see if I come up with something or not. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
thank you. Oh, okay, yeah, Rafael,
sorry,
go
Marion,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, no, just a thought about this last topic. It's recurrent to see proposals that are not aligned with the team, with the theme coming along. So regular rounds are like this. BGI was also, we had some not aligned proposals. Now the ideation. And at some point we have to think if we are doing something that can be improved in the sense of communication, or if we should also consider that those that are proposing out of the team, and like it was an open challenge, also have, are not suitable or fit to it. If you see here, Ubio, Andrea, they were sharing, so the image is huge. The name is huge. So how can be that someone doesn't understand that this is AI for peace? And so it's good for us to take the responsibility and say, hey, we have to improve, but we also have to know the limit or boundaries that we can be spending more effort and money than the people that are applying are interested to have. So just read it. If you read the rules, you see all the signs that, not signs, but the information that is needed. So this is something to be discussed as well, in the sense of should they go forward if they are not capable of a simple thing as understanding what's the theme of that particular funding format, to be discussed, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much, Rafael, for that. Tommy, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a little bit of controversy on deep funding and BGI. And those of you that know me know that I've been around the ambassador program, and I'm also part of the focus group. And we discussed this a little bit, and then I saw some more things in Telegram today, and I've had a couple of people contact me. The first issue, and funding runs the platform, and BGI Nexus as a client. I have questions about it, but the first one is apparently proposers that did not make the cut have not been notified and not given the reason. And you know, I raised it in Telegram today, and the answer was, well, we're busy, we can't get to it, we will get to it eventually. And then the second thing, and I'm talking about decentralization, ethics, and transparency right now. And the issue now is, and we raised this in the focus group about voting, that it should have been decided and explained prior to the fund round. Now suddenly the voting is some type of voting that most people have never heard of. And today I saw it, it's the first I heard about it. And again, I'm on the focus group, and we went to the BGI Nexus office, the 3 focus group members, to discuss this. And apparently there's some kind of algorithm that is unexplained in the voting process. I, for one, and people that have don't see that as transparent, and I'm concerned. I'm really concerned about how this round is going to go. So I know Jan and Rafael are here. I don't know if Esther is, but I'd like to open this up for discussion to the community for those that are concerned or afraid to come forward. I'm being their voice. So don't kill the messenger. Just let's discuss what this issue is, these issues, and especially with transparency and decentralization.
Actually, I congratulate you, actually, Tommy, because you are doing your role, right? You are from focus group, you are hearing, being the liaison to this type of stuff. Before Esther, I believe, would like to talk, just for clarification, BGI Nexus is not a client of Deep Funding, it's a partner. We are going to have partners as this process, okay? And as any process, especially in the point that we are as a simulation, not simulation, but a pilot for it, testing, some hurdles and bumps will occur indeed. What I can say is about the feedback to the teams. They are being done. We don't have capacity to deliver 100% in the first minute after the final decision, right? So they will be handled to the teams. But as you mentioned here, there are parallel things happening. So we also have to take care. We are a small team, and we are in constant, as you also know, in Telegram and other channels, we are in constant contact with them to not let them unanswered, right? So the responsibility is ours. We are also open to hear and to perform. The voting process in this model that we are forming was under responsibility of the BGI Nexus. Deep Funding was more in the sense of advisor, as the focus group before the start of the round got in contact with them, had a call, had a meeting, trying to understand, to suggest some options for them as well, right? So we are also providing this support, but ultimately it's indeed BGI Nexus decision on how to vote. They know their community, they know those that are involved with voting. So potentially they are the best ones to say, yeah, this is how we should do. For instance, let's not use tokens, because if we use tokens, we are going to avoid a lot of members of our community to vote. So they have the expertise in their community for that. That's why we went for this decision on they had the final voice on the voting format. But now, please, Esther, and correct me if I said something wrong.
No, I think that covers it. Yeah, I want to thank you for the question. It is something that is being discussed in the Telegram group and among all the proposers quite energetically, and it's really good that this is under discussion. It's not our intention at all to create some sort of unfair and untransparent system. In fact, one of the reasons why we went with the voting platform that we did was because we thought that it would be a fairer system rather than kind of a one token, one vote system. And we've always been fairly upfront about the fact, I think, that that this is a pilot round and that there are many things in it that are still experimental. I do take the point that it was a decision that the voting format was a decision that was taken quite late, and so maybe we weren't as good or effective as we could have been about messaging about that. That said, we do have an extensive voting guide. We have information on the platform itself. We published the guide in the blog. We published it with the emails. So however, so this is a governance experiment. This pairwise voting is effectively a governance and voting experiment. And that's not to diminish the stakes for people. I don't want to diminish the stakes for people because people are very invested in their projects, and that's really important to remember, that this isn't just like a game for them. So I don't want to diminish that at all. But this is also an experiment to see whether we can do this more fairly, whether we can find a way to minimize voter gaming. And the pairwise comparison system is an extremely robust system for that sort of thing. And that's why we had to think very carefully about what is it exactly that we wanted to do with this round. So did we want to replicate the deep funding method, which is of course very respectable and runs consistently across different rounds, and you know, is obviously very successful, or do we want to establish an identity for BGI Nexus in its own right and see whether we can contribute to SingularityNET's decentralized vision by exploring different kinds of voting options? So that was why we decided to go a different way. The timescale was not ideal. We had to accelerate quite a few things down the line, and we are a very small team. I can tell you that if you want a brief explanation of how it's working, each person who goes to vote is presented with 8 pairs of proposals. Those pairs of proposals are not necessarily unique, so that's to say that each proposal can appear multiple times because the algorithm is geared towards detecting not only preference but nuance. So it wants to know, we want to know in poll unit whether you would prefer A to B, but do you also prefer A to C? And do you prefer it to D? And do you prefer, so these different pairs come up so that they can compare individually. But if you did that with every single pair, you would come up with an unimaginable number of combinations. So that's why it's 8 pairs per person, and then you don't know which ones you're going to get. And that is also part of the anti-gaming mechanism. If you're not sure exactly which proposals you're going to get, you can't cluster around proposals and generate infinite number of IDs and vote for one thing. So that is how it establishes itself as a fairer system than a voting system that could theoretically be gained by dedicated parties. But it's not without its weaknesses, because it is a bit confusing, and it does require a culture shift to move into this kind of voting. And without an established community with multiple communities coming from different proposers, it can be difficult to explain that they're not only turning out to vote on their favorite proposal, they are also participating in governance and democracy. And that's kind of a big ask for people coming in to do 2 lots of work effectively. So it is a big culture shift, and it's something that we'll be evaluating very carefully afterwards. What could we have done better? How could we have communicated better? What decisions did we make down the line, and how did we talk about them with the community? And I can see that in some cases it has damaged trust, but in other cases there has been an appreciation for the fairness of the system. So yeah, it's new work that we're choosing to do here, and I hope that it will be valuable even as a learning experience. But I do want to thank everybody who has already turned out to vote. I want to thank everybody who has shared with their networks, and I especially want to thank the Deep Funding teams who have been supporting us
so magnificently throughout the process, both the practicalities of helping us with the reviews and also with the spreading of the word. I think that we've got an amazing turnout this time, and a large part of that is thanks to you. We've got almost 500 votes now. 500 people came to vote on the platform, which I think is really amazing. So thank you so much.
Hal, thank you, Esther, for that answer. I appreciate it greatly. And again, from constituents, not me, but constituents, how would you, and especially in view of BGI Nexus, how would you address the claim of lack of transparency and the potential hand on the tiller by the BGI team?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by lack of transparency, though. Which aspect, which part?
The algorithm. Apparently, you can get 2 pairs and not 8 pairs or 4 pairs. And what if someone decides to continually put up the same pair to not game by the community, but game by the platform, so to speak? And this is what was brought to my attention. The algorithm could be fixed, and it's not transparent.
Well, we use a third party, so we don't control the algorithm. The algorithm is random and created by PolUnit. So we're not able to put our hand on the tiller because we have no way of predicting what's coming up for people. Yeah, so that's why people are, I mean, we've had a look at the analytics and the exposure. So some people are suggesting that there is that some of their projects are just not being promoted or not coming up on the system. And I've had a look at the number of them, and they are roughly the same. There is a kind of pretty good distribution of projects coming up to be selected. And I think that we'll do a proper rundown of not just the results, but also how PolUnit worked as an experiment for voting. And we chose not to present the results in real time to avoid influencing the vote, but we absolutely plan to be transparent about how things were calculated, how the vote went, what worked and what didn't with PolUnit, in addition to obviously providing the results later.
Okay, again, thank you. And hopefully that can help heal some of the lack of trust or lost trust, as you mentioned.
I would be open to any suggestions about how to rebuild that trust with any community members who are having difficulties. Because I felt like our voting guide was fairly clear, but maybe we weren't clear about the relationships with PolUnit, that we're not in any way interfering with those results. I mean, obviously at the end anybody could fix the figures, but in terms of what the algorithm is doing, we have no control at all. Any suggestions about what we can do better at this point to facilitate greater understanding? That would be very appreciative of that.
And if I may, this is tied again to what we were discussing here with Ubio, right, in the current challenge. We have the documentation. Of course, perhaps it was too short notice when we brought it, but the documentation is there. I read it. It's amazing in the sense of even the design, everything, the content, it was really commendable. I started talking before and I forgot to mention about the documentation and how, from my perspective, it was clear. Of course, I am inside this environment, so it might be easier for me to understand that than others, even though being a completely different process of voting, right? But the material, the resources are there. So we also have to understand how much or what's the level of the willingness of people to really understand what's going on. They have their daily jobs, they have their family. So for us to understand if this we can improve it, if the challenge comes from us or from the voters and teams to understand the process and etc. So that we can improve the whole process. And I have to say that I'm really, really glad, even though it didn't finish yet this round, the amount of information and learning that this round, together with BGI Nexus, brought to Deep Funding was paramount. A lot of new things, a lot of things that we are getting and bringing into our regular rounds. It will only bring benefits, definitely. And again, I can't be tired of this. I am pretty much thankful for BGI giving and bringing this opportunity to us to work together.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope, yes, Tommy has spoken for those who cannot speak for themselves, and I hope that everyone has the clarity that they do need. Oh, so for our last segment, Esther or the BGI team was supposed to give us information about the voting round, and I'm pretty sure they've covered it. But Esther, do you have more information you'd like to share?
Not really. I think we covered pretty much all of it. I mean, if you would like to come and vote and share with your networks, we'd be very grateful. It would be wonderful if you could take part and come with us on the journey. Thank you.
Yeah, Esther, maybe I'm gonna ask a question. What's the number of votes you've seen this at? Like, it's already 500. I'm so surprised, man. So how many people do you see coming in finally? Like, frankly, I would say this is a lot of learning. So 500 in less than 24 hours or in about 24 hours. Wow, this is record breaking. I really hope we can synthesize that for deep funding so we're gonna be learning. So what's your what are you looking at in terms of the total number of votes or people? Like, how do you see that? And again, the 500, are we calculating the number of votes, total number of vote cast, or total number of people registered to vote?
We'll take a closer look later at how many people we think might be duplicates. There are some anti-fraud systems embedded into Poll Unit that help to understand whether there's anything fishy going on with the votes. So yeah, at the moment that number is the number of votes cast, not on pairs, but like the number of instances that somebody is logged on and gone through the whole process. Yeah, so that, but it is quite kind of hard to understand, like the fact that people don't fully understand the system when they go in also makes it very hard to game, which is not great in terms of like, okay, they don't understand, but it is it also like when it's not completely obvious going in. But in any case, I honestly don't know what the ultimate result is going to be, but I'm really happy about how many people have already turned out. One thing that I would say is that we deliberately made this not a crypto vote, and I think that the barrier to voting that is afforded, that is created by having a token-based vote, is pretty significant. I'm not sure that that's the only reason. I think that many people have established communities around their projects that come to vote, and they come out and support. So I do think that these established communities are very strong. But that said, the crypto element probably is a challenging barrier for people, and perhaps there is a case for creating some way of people participating in a token-based vote that is reliant on some sort of non-token based in non-crypto wallet interface, or something that is taken care of on the back end and provides a non-crypto interface for people to be able to engage. And then maybe we would see sort of even more engagement.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much a question, but more like an observation, or I mean, a comment about the voting process. And just like Ubio said, this provides very great avenue for us to learn as a community. And I think what I personally like about this voting system is that you have definitely, as a voter, you have to be there for the love of the community, not for the love of your friend's proposal or your proposal. I mean, your project, right? And that is quite a good thing. It might just be the the thing, it might just be what we really need, because if people vote because they love the community or they love what we all want to do and achieve together, the fact that you're going to be presented with proposals that you now need to decide, which one is better or, and things like that, I think it presents quite an opportunity here. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to take these lessons, like Ubio said, and see how we can apply it to our own existing voting processes. So yeah, thank you, BGI team, Esther, Lilo, and Eli. We didn't see that coming. We did not see that coming at all. So, I mean, thank you very much for the surprise.
Thank you, Aya, and thank you, Ubio, for the question. I really appreciate it. I love engaging on the subject. You know that decentralization and governance are kind of pet subjects. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Esther and the rest of the BGI team. There are some more interesting comments. Ken is saying that okay, he's commending the voting, saying that his comparison may not be accurate, but he describes the voting comparison to his non-techie friends and family, that the system is working out votes like a CAPTCHA V2 system. So it's sort of like an algorithm evaluation, and it requires leap of trust, and non-crypto communities can vote, and that's really encouraging. And I think that's very vital. Lots of people are quite conversant with crypto thingies yet, but an idea is an idea, right? And it's great that people who are not so well or very conversant with techie terms are able to support ideas that they think are worth their time and their interest. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Okay, so Rafael, Jan, are there any more things? We are pretty much done with our agenda and we have about 9 minutes to spare. Yay! So if there are any more comments or updates to share, please do, so that we can, take a bow for the night.
On deep funding, on other funding formats, for those that applied for the RFPs, either the community hubs, DDI, reputation, the RFPs are under evaluation at this. Sorry, the proposals are under evaluation at this point already, and we are going to release soon. I sent the emails to the RFP submitters or proposers in the last week with more information about it. Rafael Cardoso here through the event circle will also contact the community hubs, selected ones. And yeah, pretty much going forward with, we have also already started receiving milestones from the first batch of RFPs of SNET, and we are also assessing those given the quality bar that we are aiming to have. So yeah, and soon to have more news on the contracts for the RFPs as well.
Okay, all right then. Thank you so much. For those of us wondering if there are any updates concerning the community hub RFPs, updates will be shared soon, maybe next week. But let's just keep our ears to the ground, and yeah, we'll get updates about every other thing. Okay, so if there are nothing, can we say goodbye to each other? So mention someone's name in the chat and just, unmute your mic and say, hi, goodbye, Esther. It was lovely to see you today. Hi, goodbye, Abdul. It was lovely to see you today. All right, let's go.
Hello, and
Hi,
thank you.
Ian. Goodbye, Ian. It was lovely to see you today, Ian.
What a great presentation, Mariam.
Hi,
Well
Mariam.
done. Really good.
Thank you.
Great couple with Priscilla as well.
Really, really good, Mariam. Congratulations. Wanna see more of
Thank
this.
you. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Event Circle for this lovely opportunity to host you all today. Thank you to my boss, Rafael, for, well, I would say he asked, but well, he was very convincing in his accent that I do this today. So thank you for being lovely participants. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Miriam, you're
Bye.
my new favorite facilitator. Thank you.
Yay! All right, Rafael, you're a host now. As Rafael has gone. Thank you, Shukran. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, guys. Have a lovely, lovely night. Rafael has left me.
Ayo is here. Relax. Ayo is here.
Okay. I need to end the meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, Ayo, let me make you the host so we could end the meeting. All right, 5 minutes to spare.